So welcome back to the amazing 102.5 FM. I have in the audience with me in the studio on today with me. Would say your name right there.
Keith Cornelius.
Yes, and we're having interesting conversations all month long about the art of appreciation. I tell people who may feel a need to tune out because you're not getting like networking strategies and how to do your business cards and those types of things when it comes to generating resources. What I will tell you is this age-old truth that still continues to be living and alive today is appreciation, and relationships will get you further than any cold calling, knocking on doors, sending out generic emails ever will. Learning how to handle your human capital through appreciation is a key tool. So keep the dial right here if you want to hear more tangible tips about that. Keith was actually mentioning before we came back live that he appreciated just being here in the studio. So you can say what you said, but then I want to highlight for us why that is even important. Go ahead.
Well, I was a member at Windsor Village United Methodist Church back in the early 90s when this building was completely blank. Mm-hmm. And the United Methodist Church had let it go, and they'd given it over to Windsor Village. And Pastor Kirby John Caldwell at the time directed Pastor Rudy and Juanita to come here and open up this building in this place that not too many people wanted to worship. And so I was one of the first ones to come over here and, work with Rudy and Juanita initially in terms of serving with them. And as I was telling Dr. Gina, I'm very thankful that I've seen the evolution and the growth of what was then St. John's United Methodist Church, now it's Bread of Life. And Rudy and Juanita have done an amazing job of building this congregation and allowing it to be home to people who others try to avoid. So I'm very thankful for that. And as a man of faith, being thankful is what I'm supposed to do and to give thanks. So I'm giving thanks for Rudy and Juanita and for you for being in this building, doing what you do.
Yes, thank you for that. And so the nugget again for listening audiences, when we're talking about appreciation, even though that's a concept, that's a something that we're trying to put tangible examples to, being able to be reflective and to recognize that where you are is largely built on the work of someone else is a part of appreciation. So each of us, wherever we are and whatever we're doing, we can take a step back from that and be intentional about, as he did, acknowledging that, verbally saying that. It goes beyond the sentiments that we feel. What is the appreciation that's in action? And so now I want to bring it to his particular organization, but for those of you in an organization, you can apply these same tips everywhere. So name your organization again one more time so the good people can know.
The Urban Enrichment Institute, located in the Fifth Ward Multi-Service Center in Fifth Ward on Market Street.
Yeah, so when we think about that and the work that you and your team are up to, how does appreciation show up? I know as a nonprofit leader myself, sometimes I experience the lack of appreciation. Other times I experience generous appreciation. How does it show up for you all?
For us, since we're not a fee-for-service organization where somebody pays you money for something, we are literally at the mercy of very generous donors, corporate, foundation, individual donors. And we put our organization in jeopardy when we don't say thank you, when we don't acknowledge the generosity of others. We receive what's called soft money. Soft money means I ask you for money, you give me money. Your priorities may or may not align with mine, and if they don't, we don't receive it. And so, we have people and programs that we need to support. So we need to be very intentional about telling a corporation, a foundation, individuals, thank you for anything that they do for us. If they provide in-kind services, furniture, transportation, whatever they do for us, we need to say thank you. They give us dollars. We need to say thank you. Whatever it is, because they're looking for two things. They're looking for us to engage in the mission work for which we've requested funds, and they're looking for us to show them appreciation for the funds that they give us.
Yes.
They're not looking for a whole lot.
Right.
They're looking for us to invite them to our organization and say, hey, look, come over here and see what your support has done for us. See what your dollars did. And if it were not for your dollars, we would not have this. We would not be able to do that. And I think in many ways, we shoot ourselves in the foot when we don't acknowledge that, when we don't tell donors how much we appreciate them. And I know the word is appreciation. The word can be gratitude. The word can be sentiment.
Right.
But I'm old school. It's just thank you.
Thank you. Right.
Just thank you.
That's the nugget I hope that you hear in his sharing on today, is just pausing a moment, right, in the busyness of what we do. And I was going to ask, and so when you're saying go back and tell donors thank you, are you talking about first time donors? Are you talking about the donors who've given over and over again? In what capacity are you referencing say thank you? To whom is it important?
If you don't mind me, everybody,
Right.
everybody,
All the time.
everybody, all the time.
Right.
I don't care if you give us $1, $1,000,000, $10. I don't care if you give it to us on a regular basis. I don't care if you give us one-time money. We have got to say thank you, because we put our organization in jeopardy. Because the one thing that donor organizations, individuals will do is they will cut you off
Yes.
if you do not
Yes.
recognize
Yes.
the generosity
Yes.
of their gift.
Yes.
They will cut you off if you act like you're ignoring them. They will cut you off if you act entitled.
Yes.
And we
Okay.
can never do that.
So we're going to circle back and talk about entitlement. I'm going to lean into that for a minute. But for all of you who are listening, then, appreciation is not about amounts and it's not about frequency. Appreciation is a posture of your heart. Appreciation is an awareness that people did not have to do for you what they've done. And so take that nugget down too if you're taking notes, and let's go right into entitlement. So how would you even define entitlement? Because that is a reoccurring word that I hear almost to the point of it being triggering when people in organizations who give talk about entitlement. What does that mean?
One of the things that keeps me up at night
Mm-hmm.
is I always ask myself, Keith, do you feel entitled
Mm-hmm.
to the funds that your organization is receiving? And are you doing the best that you can to let your donors know that you appreciate them, that we're not for them?
Mm-hmm.
Your organization
Mm-hmm.
would have issues. Entitlement to me is a sense of selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
When you think that you are owed something by anybody.
Yes.
And in our business, we can never feel like anybody owes us something, because their priorities change.
Yes.
We are, a BIPOC organization. We are primarily African American and Hispanic, serving young men, and we don't have the luxury ever of feeling as if somebody owes us something,
Yes.
because that dollar that they give to you can easily go somewhere
Yes.
else.
Yes.
And we have to let them know that we're very thankful, and that the dollar that they gave us goes to do this because
Yes.
we told them we were going to do that,
Yes.
and that we are successful in the use of those funds.
Yes. So I think you did two things there and giving y'all two tips. One way to show appreciation is to use contributions for what you said it would be used for. Have integrity about the application of what's given to you. But then I think, secondly, there was something else you said about it that just left my mind. It's going to come right on back. But just being able to not feel as if people owe you what they give. And so, y'all, I think in our earliest episodes, they captured it that way too. Whether you are a nonprofit organization, whether you are a business, whether you are an individual, this way of being can apply across the boards. Businesses who handle customers like those customers are owed to them are less likely to be kind, to give quick service. And if you're a nonprofit leader, you just heard lots of examples. So then, Keith, though, if we're not a business nor a nonprofit leader, we're just an individual showing up on the station today. How would entitlement show up in individuals? What does that look like when a person, as an individual, operates as if they are entitled?
In many ways, it shows up in lack of time management. For example, I would not have shown appreciation if my time was 1 o'clock and I showed up here at 1:05. That means I don't respect your time, that I don't think enough of myself and you to be on time. And, I'm going to, have a self-own here. I'm working on time management. That's why I was here real early.
That's why you gave that example.
I was here real early. No, I'm not going to be late with Dr. G.
I appreciate this opportunity. It's interesting you use that because I have a mentor who does that. She says when people ask her for her time, and she has a certain amount of time to wait. And if they're not there, she's gone. And she literally could be around the corner, and you may think, well, why don't she just come back? She said, because it already shows that they don't really value what I'm bringing to the table. So that's an easy one for all of us. He's doing this whole, almost like he in a treatment center. He working on time. His name is Keith. He working on time. Y'all pray for him.
I'm working on my, but I am much, much better.
Yes.
And I don't care how old you are, somebody can still teach you. And someone said, Keith,
Yes.
you need to get better. So I've been working on
Yes.
that over the last few years, just making sure that I am on time.
And you're doing that as a form of acknowledgement or appreciation for
Absolutely.
whoever's taking out the time to connect with you.
You invited me.
Yes.
I appreciate you inviting me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
The way I show that is showing up on time.
So it takes the vagueness for those of you who are listening and who want to really take a step forward in appreciation, because appreciation really does lead to advancement. I guarantee you this, some of the organizations that float to the top for us at the org where I serve in businesses is when I have letters or emails and I tell board members this is what they said. It takes a small gesture, but it goes a long way. I know we're right here at break time, so you keep the dials right there. We'll be right back to listen to Keith one more time, one more again on the amazing 102.5 FM. Thank y'all.